In this video, I'll show you how to approve or reject a new user registration within WooCommerce in just a few simple steps. So without further ado, let's get straight into it. Okay, so here we are on our demo site, and then for this video, before we get into anything, I just want to show you two different concepts that we can use to help segment our users. So the first one is, if I go ahead and click on this option here, so we can create a registration form where the users can self-select their account type, so we can create the appropriate flow for them. So for example, if a user chooses customers, it's set on the system that all regular retail customers will be automatically approved. However, if the user was to select the account type as wholesale, so we've got some extra fields, and for this case, the account will be held until the admin actually reviews it. So this is one method, okay? And then another method is we can create a dedicated registration form for a particular user. So this could be for your B2C customers, or it can be for your B2B customers. So here we are on this registration page, and then when the user fills in this information here, they'll automatically be assigned the wholesale user role, and this account will be held for moderation. So there's two methods in which we can take here. So throughout this video, I think just to make life easier for myself, I'm just going to select the option here where the users can self-select. Okay, so the first step, if you want to incorporate a user moderation system in your WooCommerce store, is to head over to woosuite.com, go ahead and download the user registration plugin by Woosuite. Once you've done so, let's head back over to our dashboard. I'll leave the link in the description below. Okay, so here we are in our WordPress dashboard. So now the second step is to go ahead and upload the plugin in which you just downloaded. So you'll navigate to plugins, add new, go ahead and upload the Woosuite core plugin. Once you've done so, you'll see this Woosuite menu here. Go ahead and activate your license key, and then from the add-ons, from the add-on section, we'll just scroll down to where it says user registration, okay? And then we'll just install this plugin and toggle it to on. Okay, so now once you've done so, let's head over to the user registration settings page. So I'm going to open this in a new tab. Okay, and then for the general settings, we can ignore this for now. So I want to try to keep this video as brief and as concise to this particular point as possible. So a lot of the options I'm going to skip over because we've got written tutorials and videos explaining how to activate each section. Okay, so I'm going to head over to where it says user role here. Okay, and I'm going to enable this user role selection here so our customers can self-select the appropriate account type. So I'm going to label this option as well. So I'm going to say choose account type. Okay, and if we want to create any additional user roles, so for this example, I'm going to be using a B2C and a B2B store setup. Okay, so in that case, I've got the default customer role, which is created by WooCommerce, and this will be assigned to all our retail customers. And then I've also created a wholesale customer role. If you wanted to create new user roles, then you'll just click add new role here. And then here you'll just go ahead and give it a name. So for example, I can say wholesale 2. So if you read this notification here, for this user role, it has to be in lowercase, and it has to be separated with a underscore or a hyphen. And then for the display name, you can name it whatever you want. So in this case, we can say wholesale tier 2. Okay, and then where it says copy from, this is the permissions that we're going to copy it from. So we'll select the customer role here, meaning it will have the same capabilities as a regular retail customer. Then you'll just click add role. In my case, I'm going to go ahead and cancel this because for this example, I'm just using the customer and wholesale customer role. So let's save changes because I've just entered this field here. Okay, I should have mentioned as well that throughout this video, I'm assuming that you've enabled user registration. And if you want to add a registration pages to your My Account page, so the default WooCommerce My Account page, you want to navigate to WooCommerce, Settings, and then we'll navigate to account and privacy. Okay, and where it says allow customers to create account on the My Account page, you want to make sure this option's enabled. Okay, and then you can also enable these options as well, where it will automatically create the username based on the customer name or email address. So just save changes and then we'll continue the tutorial. Okay, so now that this user role option's saved, I'm going to go ahead and click approve new user. And then you just want to make sure this option's ticked. Okay, and then maybe you want to exclude certain user roles. So this is optional. So let's say, for example, in your case, you're just selling directly to retailers, and that's the only customer type you've got registering on your system. So in that case, you'd go ahead and untick this option. Well, it wouldn't be ticked in the first place, but you'll just make sure that nothing's excluded here. But in my case, I want to make sure our retail customers can register without user approval, but all other user role, they'll require approval from admin. Okay, and then when we scroll down to this messages section, so this is the different alerts that the user will see at different stages. So when the users just created their account, then here there'll be a notification message. So you can send them a message, just let them know, thank you very much for creating your account. Admin's reviewing it and we'll get back to you in X amount of time. Okay, and this notification will show when the user attempts to log in. So I'll show you this as well when I actually create a user account to show you the process. When we scroll down, it's a similar thing. So when the user account's pending, if they try to log in, then we'll show them a notification just to let them know what's going on. And then finally, if their account's been disapproved, then when they log in, then it makes sense to show them also a notification to just let them know that their account has been disapproved. So here I've just added some dummy text. Okay, so you just go ahead and save changes. So these are just for the notification and when a user attempts to log in. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and navigate to emails now. Okay, so in this admin email address field, you want to go ahead and enter in the email address that you want to receive the new user registration notification to. Okay, so just add whoever's going to be managing the user onboarding email here. So they'll be notified every time there's a new pending user. Right, so you can enable this option to send an email to admin whenever there's a new user registration on your account, whether they're excluded or not. This will automatically send the admin a user notification. So I'd actually disable this option because you only want to receive emails for customers that's pending approval. Okay, so when we scroll down here, so this is where you'd most likely enter in your information. So admin approval subject line, right? So this email sent to the admin. Okay, so in my case, I've just said new user application action required. Okay, so within this email, the admin will have two options. They can go ahead and reject the user registration directly from the email, or they can go ahead and approve it. Okay, so this is just a subject line for whoever is in charge of reviewing the user application. And then we've just got some extra information here for the admin. Okay, welcome email. So this is for the customer. So we can enable this, right? So we can just add a subject line. So here I've said, we've received your application. And then here I've just gave them a bit of extra information to let them know the process and what to expect, right? So you can just say, we're reviewing your account, expect to hear from us within X amount of working days or weeks, just to manage that expectation. Okay, and then here where it says approval email subject line, so if the user account's been approved, we can automatically send them a approval email, right? So we can say, welcome to my awesome company, and you can give them a bit of extra information and maybe what to do next, how to access support and so on. So this is where you'd enter in that message here. Okay, and then finally we've got the disapproval email. Okay, so for the subject line, I've just said account update, and then here we just add some extra information to let them know maybe why their account's been disapproved. Okay, so in my case, I just said, after reviewing the information you provided, unfortunately we are unable to approve your account at this time. And then maybe we can give them some extra information of a few common reasons why their account might have been disapproved, and maybe how to contact support if they need it. Okay, so this is our email flow, right? So we can set up a few automated emails for our customers and also to help the admin. Okay, so this is it for the user approval. So we'll navigate to our main dashboard here, and I'll show you where it actually says how many pending accounts you've got and so on. Okay, so your dashboard will most likely look different based on the different modules you've got on. So if you've got like our wholesale module, for example, you'll see different stats here relating to your wholesale customers and so on. So this might look different based on the different modules you've got. So don't panic if yours don't look exactly like mine. Okay, so here you can see we've got a new customer sign up. So we've got the customer username name, email address, user role. We've got the date when they signed up, and we've got the status. So now we can approve this user, or we can go ahead and disapprove this user as well. So at the time when this user registered, there would have been an email sent to admin as well with the user information and also a quick action link, whether they want to approve or reject it. Okay, so you can see all the pending signups in your main dashboard area. Okay, so now let's actually go through the flow of a user just to give you an idea of what's actually going on. So let's head over to the shop page, and I'm going to go ahead and navigate to my account. Okay, let me open this in a private browser so we can actually see the registration. Okay, so we'll add in our email address here. So we'll just say test2 email address test.com. And then for the account type, I'm going to select our wholesale account. And as you can see, we've got some extra information here that's specific for our wholesale users. Let's hit register. So the default behavior of Woocommerce is to automatically log in a user when they register and redirect them to the account page. But here, if you can see in the URL, you can see approval pending. And this is our first notification. So as you can see here, it says notification message for when account is just created. So if I head back over to our dashboard here, and then let's navigate to user registration, I'll show you where this message is. Okay, so if we go to approve new user, and then when we scroll down to this messages section here, so you can see it says message for when a user account just created, and here's the message that we can actually see now, since this user's just created their account. And if I was to log into this user account, then it will show us this message here, just letting us know that the account's pending approval. So it's super handy. This is our notification section. So now let's actually check the admin email address to see what kind of notification the admin receives. Okay, so I've got my email client up in a different tab now. It's not on the screen. I'll get the message up first, and then I'll put it back onto the main screen. So just bear with me a few seconds. Okay, so this is the default message that you'll see. So as I mentioned before, here it's got some brief details of our customer, and we've also got the approval link. So we can go ahead and click on this link and it'll automatically approve this user account, or we can click on the disapproval link and it will disapprove this user account. So this is the email that the admin will receive, and then obviously the customer will receive a welcome email as well. And then based on the status of the application, the user will automatically be sent the emails that we've entered here. Okay, so this is the email. This is that email I just showed you to the admin, letting them know they should approve or disapprove this user. And this is the pending/welcome email for when a user just creates an account. And then based on the admin's action, the user will automatically be sent a approval email or a disapproval email here. Hopefully everything makes sense so far. And then lastly, if we go back to our dashboard here, so not only will the admin be notified via email, whenever you visit your dashboard here, at a glance you can see all the pending user accounts. So we can disapprove this user if we want, or we can approve this user. So let's disapprove this user. Unfortunately, I used a made up email address, so I won't actually be able to log into that user's account to show you the disapproval notification message. And that's how you implement a user registration approval system in your WooCommerce store in just a few simple steps. So this was just to serve as a quick overview of our user approval system. You can do so much more with this plugin. You can create custom fields, you can create custom registration forms, and so much more. But this video specifically was just focused on the user approval system. So hopefully everything makes sense. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. And if you've got any questions, leave it in the comment box below or reach out to support and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.